Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So, a friend of mine sent me this article about this conservative daydream, Tomi Lahren, okay? And for those of you who are not familiar with Tomi Lahren, she is this superstar, hipster, conservative woman on Facebook. Really popular on Facebook. Her videos get shared millions of times, okay? And, you know, people really go crazy over her. I mean, they're head over heels in love with her. It's crazy. But anyway, everyone's talked about how such a great conservative she is, how wonderful she is, how pretty she is, how beautiful she is, but she's conservative, so she's beautiful and pretty, and they just go absolutely, you know, like I said, head over heels for her. And it turns out that she was just on The View, and she said that she's pro-choice. And all of a sudden, this conservative daydream is now quickly evolving into a nightmare. And conservatives are thinking, huh? What? Tommy? What are you doing, Tommy? They can't believe it. Once again, they have been fooled. I mean, how many times? What are we at now? 5, 6, 7 times? I mean, guys, and this is the thing. She's come out and announced that she is pro-choice, supports the genocide of unborn children. Perfectly fine with it. Doesn't believe that it should be regulated at all, or came across that way. Doesn't believe that it. I won't say at all, but she believes that the government should get out of it. So I assume that she's not. If she says that the government shouldn't be involved at all, I'm guessing that she's saying that there shouldn't be regulations on abortion, because that's what it sounded like in the View interview, that she was on. Okay. So anyway, I have an audio bit here for you. I have 2 audio bits that I want to play for you. And I want to tell you, Tomi Lahren came out, once again, I'll say it again. Tomi Lahren came out and said that she is pro-choice, okay, on The View. And I have 2 audio bits that I want to play for you. And I want to go ahead and say, I don't enjoy or find enjoyment in calling people out or exposing, you know, these commentators as being fake conservatives. Okay, maybe I do a little bit because I'm good at it. Because I mean, you look at it. You had Jonathan Cron. You had C.J. Pearson. You had Milo Yiannopoulos. Turns out events that unfolded in his past have him condoning pedophilia, or what appears to be that way. That's what it sounded like. You have Tomi Lahren now that is pro-choice. I mean, when are conservatives going to learn to stop exalting these people because they fit into one of the little minority groups that the Democrats say that conservatives don't have enough of, or they have a pretty face? It's time to start exalting people based upon their actual principles, not upon their appearance. Okay, but anyway, that's exactly what they did with Tomi Lahren. She is this attractive, superstar on the right, so conservatives think, okay, well, she has a pretty face, we're going to get her to promote conservatism. And basically, what is taking place here is that she is equivalent to that of the friendly female voice at the end of antidepressant commercials that tell you that, you know, may cause suicidal thoughts or actions. They say it in the sweetest voice possible, so you want to go and, you know, buy the antidepressant. So that's basically what she's being used for here, pertaining to promoting abortion among Republican women. Well, you know, it's everybody's right to decide on if they want to keep their child or not. I believe in small government, in less government regulation. So, if I'm going to not support the government getting into a person's gun cabinet, why would I support the government going into a woman's body? So what's she doing? She is, like I said, she is the sweet and friendly voice at the end of medication commercials, telling you may cause heart attack, stroke, suicidal thoughts or actions. It's all right. It's okay. It might kill you. It might give you a heart attack, might give you suicidal thoughts or actions, might give you more of a risk of getting a stroke, could result in death, but it'll solve your problem. Because if you're dead, you're not sick anymore. I mean, that's the type of people that we are now exalting. These little friendly voices that are operating as nothing more than Trojan horses in the conservative movement to evolve conservatives to the mentality of liberals. Because if we can get these, sweet little, tender-voiced women or, sweet little voices out there from 12-year-old kids, 13-year-old kids that are not so conservative, but identifying as conservative, you can sway some people that way. And that's exactly what Tomi Lahren is being used for. And anyway, before I get to the clip of her on The View, I want to play an audio bit here for you of just a few months ago. This is an audio bit from December 22nd, 2016. Now, first, here's an audio bit of Leah Dunham. I want to play for you her bit because that's what Tommy's segment was about, okay? And this is what Leah Dunham said pertaining to abortion.
Now I can say that I still haven't had an abortion, but I wish I had.
She wished she had had an abortion, all right? Now, I remember this audio bit, this little segment, because it was on Facebook, I think, or I saw it somewhere. But Tomi Lahren was talking about Leah Dunham and how she wanted to murder a child, how she wanted to murder an unborn child. So Tomi Lahren said that abortion is murder in this audio bit. Now go ahead and this is December the 22nd of 2016, just a few months ago.
Think about it. The pro-choicers are supposed to be about rare and safe abortions. That's how they avoid sounding like straight up baby killers by acknowledging abortion is not a positive thing and a difficult choice. Then we have Lena freaking Dunham out there wishing she could have murdered a fetus. Wishing for the option to kill your child doesn't exactly say much about the cause, her character, or the pro-choice movement. And can we just acknowledge the fact that pro-choice still means a choice? It means there are some who are pro-life who choose not to make abortion choice. Sounds more like Lena is clamoring for anti-choice. And here I thought the loving left, the snowflake marchers, were all about peace and love and life. Except when it comes to the unborn, I suppose. Then it's a different story. A story they write and rewrite to fit their narrative and legitimize trolls like Lena Dunham. But again, let her talk. She's pushing herself over the edge, and we're happy to watch her tumble.
Okay, so that's what she said. And just play that last audio bit one more time.
Wishing she could have murdered a fetus. Wishing for the option to kill your child doesn't exactly say much about the cause, her character, or the pro-choice movement.
And she said that I guess she doesn't care about, life of the unborn. So that was Tomi Lahren on December 22nd, 2016, right? So it sounds clearly like she's pro-life. Well, then we hear her on The View, and she says this just a few days ago.
Doesn't bother you, but let me ask you this. You call yourself a conservative Republican and a constitutional conservative, but you also consider yourself pro-choice, which is interesting to me because 68% of conservative Republicans think that abortion should be illegal across the board.
No, I'm pro-choice, and here's why. I am a constitutional, someone that loves the Constitution. I am someone that's for limited government, and so I can't sit here and be a hypocrite and say I'm for limited government, but I think that the government should decide what women do with their bodies. I can sit here and say that as a Republican, and I can say, you know what, I'm for limited government, so stay out of my guns. And you can stay out of my body as well. So I think it's...
you need to go out and speak to women.
Isn't that
Speak to Republican women.
All right. Now, I want you to listen to what Joy Behar is saying. Well, you should go out and speak to Republican women about that. And Tomi Lahren, however you pronounce her name, is saying, I do speak to Republican women about killing their kids. Isn't that great? And everybody's clapping.
Every day.
I do every day. She does it regularly. I do every day. I talk to Republican women every day about the right to kill their kid, about killing, unborn fetuses, about mass genocide across the board. That is great. Look at my pretty face.
Get a lot of attacks from conservative women as well.
Yeah.
I think it's
unusual.
Equal hate from all sides for me.
You don't have any.
I told you that we wouldn't bite. Everybody, give it up for Tomi Lahren. We don't bite. We're going to be right back.
She has a little fake jittery laugh. That's what we're dealing with here, guys. And what was it that she just said about abortion a few months ago in December?
Wishing she could have murdered a fetus. Wishing for the option to kill your child doesn't exactly say much about the cause, her character, or the pro-choice movement.
So, she's not too smart, is she? But that's what these people do, guys. I mean, they evolve to whatever environment they are in. Okay? She wants popularity. She is engaged for self-aggrandizement. All that she wants is Tomi Lahren, her name in the spotlight. It's what she's going for. And when she's on the Blaze and on these and on Facebook, she is Tomi Lahren, conservative daydream, conservative heartthrob. But then she goes on The View, and she's no longer, Tomi Lahren, conservative superstar. She is Tomi Lahren, woman of The View. She is Joy Behar Whoopi Goldberg. That's what happened. She evolved just like that. A few months ago, she was pro-life, criticizing Leah Dunham for supporting abortion. And here, Tomi Lahren says, you're committing an act of murder, murdering a fetus, killing your child. So what happened? I'll tell you what happened. She's a hypocrite. She's a hypocrite. And the reason why she was exalted by the right is because the right viewed her as being this beautiful, attractive woman who can sell conservatism. I'm going to tell you something right now. Conservatism does not need a pretty face in order to be sold. Because we believe in the founding principles, in Americanism, in patriotism, in common sense. We believe in the betterment of people. Okay, that's why we are socially conservative just as much as we are physically conservative. All right? We believe that the government should stay out of our pocketbooks, and we also believe in morality, in upholding morality. And what she is calling for, guys, she said in the View interview, is that she has actually advocated for abortion, advocated for the genocide of unborn children to Republican women. That is absolutely disgusting. And I don't care. She's not a conservative. She can be pretty, she can be beautiful, she can be blonde. It doesn't matter. She is not a conservative, and she is advocating for the genocide of unborn children. That is the way that it is. And I'm sorry, you can love her, you can go gaga over her. It doesn't make a difference. She's not a conservative. She's advocating for murder of children. She's saying she doesn't have a problem with it. She's saying, well, it's not anyone else's body. There are two bodies involved. I don't think that when there are two heartbeats, that means that there are two bodies involved. And if we want to talk about constitutionalism here of this, okay, English law had it to where as soon as the fetus starts moving, within 13 to 16 weeks, can go up all the way to 25. That, all right, fine. We'll regulate abortion up to that point. When you can start feeling movement of the fetus, that's when we're going to limit abortion. Okay? So, that was according to English law. Now, the thing that gets me here is that she's saying that this is a constitutional issue. So if she's bringing Constitution into this, it sounds like she's advocating for Roe versus Wade, doesn't it? Using the same exact argument as Roe versus Wade. Because what do they say? It's a constitutional issue. Guys, it is so absolutely disgusting to see what she has done. She has completely evolved. She has completely transitioned her belief into being pro-choice when she just a few months ago advocated for being pro-life. It's disgusting. But it was called the quickening. It was a quickening law. As soon as you had quickening of the fetus, then what took place is that abortion would be regulated. That was the law in the colonies and in the law in England. And it's when the woman starts to feel or perceive fetal movement in the uterus, basically 13 to 25 weeks. So, guys, that's what I'm saying. This woman, Tomi Lahren, is so absolutely hypocritical, defending the barbaric behavior of abortion, the barbaric practice of abortion. And, guys, what I'm going to tell you right here, right now, you need to stop exalting people. You and the conservative movement need to stop exalting people because they are attractive, because they fit into one of the minority groups that liberals say we don't have enough of, like you did with Milo. Well, they call us homophobic, so here's a gay guy that we can prop up and say is a conservative, so we're not homophobic. Haha, look at this. And then they do the same thing with C.J. Pearson. See, we're not racist. We've got a black guy over here, and he's young too. So how about that? They say we don't have any young people. Well, here we have a young black guy, two minority groups. That's exactly what you guys are doing. Shame on you. Start exalting people because of their principles, not because of their appearances.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
How would you love to use a software that can boost startups and growth? You can get more customers, sell more, spend less, and understand accounting language with this ultimate all-in-one inbound marketing and management software for your small business. Join the crowdfunding campaign. Just visit appy.la and see why this program is a must. For just $97, you can get lifetime access to our complete business software. Join today at appy.la. That's appy.la.
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, student loan debt, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
I told you what I think of it all. I don't think that people should be exalted because of the way that they look, because of their physical characteristics. It'd be one thing if they had some intelligence to go along with the beauty, but they don't. They just read scripts and they just catapult them out into the media. And then basically conservatives use them for a talking puppet. And it's dumb. It's absolutely ridiculous. And like I said, guys, you can hammer me all you want or get mad at that remark, but that's what the mainstream conservatives do. If there's somebody that fits into a category of a minority group that liberals say that we do not have any of, then they throw them out there. And guys, I'm going to give you an example, and I even have some people that I personally know that were in this particular segment, and no offense to them, love the guy, listen to him all the time, but Sean Hannity had a segment on his show dedicated solely to African American conservatives, to black conservatives. And why? Because we're being told that there are no black conservatives. So what does he do? He has an entire segment solely of black conservatives. But this has carried on to where it wasn't to make the point that there are black conservatives. It was more so to the point of where they are just getting insight from commentators because they are black, and they're trying to make it out that, see, we have black people too. It's crazy, okay? And I used to feel the same way because you'd have, segments dedicated to millennials and stuff like that. But I look back at all this stuff, and I just really think, is that really what we're trying to do here? We're dividing people up by demographics. Are we really going to take from the Democratic playbook? Because I'm going to tell you what really hit me and what really resonated with me. It was an article that Rush Limbaugh wrote a few years back, and it was on a website called PolicyMike.com. And he made the remark that no one has to be listened to. It's up to you to get people to listen, to get people to tune in. So in other words, no one has to listen to you because you're a millennial. No one has to listen to you because you're young. You have to make them want to tune in. You have to make them want to hear you. And that's what I've looked at. And after hearing that remark, reading that remark, because it was an op-ed, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. So what the heck am I, wanting to be, given all these, different types of promotions because you're young? Why would you want that? Because do you want people to care about what you say? Or do you want them to care about your age? Because the problem that we run into with a lot of these young guys that, are playing the little cutthroat game of politics in their teenage years, which I've, witnessed. Because I'm only 18 myself, and I've been able to witness a lot of these fraudulent young conservatives out in the media trying to cut other young conservatives out so they can get to the top, and they're not even truly conservative. It's hilarious. But as I've witnessed this and I've watched this, these young guys want exalted because of their age. They think that they are entitled to be listened to because of their age. Okay? And it's absolutely ridiculous. That is, now I will tell you this, when I first started, I did kind of have that mentality, but not the same exact reason that they had. See, their goal in getting involved was to get their name out in the limelight because they're young. So they were using their age to get their name out there. Well, when I first started radio at 12, I was wanting to get out there, of course, because, that's kind of the point of having a show and everything. You want people to tune in to your radio show, so they will be exposed to a new opinion. And anyway, when I was 12, the reason why I wanted my show to be a success and why I wanted to get out there was to promote conservatism and present it to my generation. Because the way that I thought, well, if there's a young guy out here that's, talking on the radio, perhaps more young people will tune in and they'll find that in common. Well, here's a young guy like me. I'm going to hear what he has to say. So that's the way that I looked at it then. Now, so I still recognized age as being a factor, I didn't recognize it as being the only factor. But I'm to the point now where I'm looking back, and after, that article that Rush had created, and hearing that, it all made sense. Yeah, why do you want exalted for your age? What is so special about being a teenager? You're not as educated as an adult. You don't have as many life experiences as an adult. You don't have as much knowledge as an adult, although some have more knowledge than adults, depending on what adult you're comparing that teenager to. But the thing is that, seriously, what makes them so special? Okay? The only reason why, I've been able to form as many opinions as I have is because I've been involved in this thing for 6 years. But, without that experience, I wasn't that knowledgeable. 2012, when I was tossed out into the media, I wasn't knowledgeable on issues like I am now. I only had 35 listeners, and it skyrockets suddenly to, 35,000. It was crazy. But, now I'm to the point, okay, I'm starting to build up an audience, starting to get more listeners and more knowledgeable on the issues. And, luckily I'm able to provide insight on, hopefully, insight on information that you find valuable. That's why you tune in every day. So, but anyway, guys, so that's, where I'm at pertaining to this entire thing. But the whole thing with Tomi Lahren or whatever is that this is what Glenn Beck said. Glenn Beck said that she is the type, and this is her employer, Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck, a guy that I really don't care for, has suspended Tomi Lahren. Okay, that's how you pronounce her name. Tomi Lahren from The Blaze for a minimum of a week. So who knows where she's going to be, but she's presently been suspended by The Blaze. Glenn Beck said that she is interested in clicks. That's her employer, Glenn Beck. And I tell you, it's not looking too good for her. And some people are saying maybe she's going to go to Fox, maybe she's going to go here, maybe she's going to go there. And I'll read the article here for you. This is from the Daily Beast. The Daily Beast stated that Glenn Beck expressed that bomb throwing in today's world is dangerous, he added. Again, without directly mentioning the professional bomb thrower Lahren. It can destroy people if your aim is clicks, views, and ratings. That's what Glenn Beck said, according to the Daily Beast. It can destroy people if your aim is clicks, views, and ratings. So what does that mean? That means that her goal, according to Beck, using innuendo, her goal is not to promote conservatism. Her goal is not to promote specific principles. Her goal is to gain clicks, to gain views, and to gain ratings. And that's exactly what the primary principles of most of these, well, I won't say most, but a large portion of these younger millennial conservatives, and I say the term conservative lightly, that's what their motives are. It's not to promote conservatism, not to increase the popularity of a specific set of principles. It's to promote themselves. They are interested in clicks. They are interested in views. They are interested in ratings. They are no different than the Kardashians. Tomi Lahren is basically Kim Kardashian in politics. All that she's interested in, according to Beck, clicks, views, and ratings. That's coming from her boss, the head honcho. You know what her response was to all this pro-life stuff? You know what her response? She said that they think that they know S-H-I, you know what, okay? That's what she said. She posted a selfie. We covered this on Cowger Nation. It's pathetic. Tomi Lahren posted a selfie on her Instagram and said, "I noticed that you think that you know poop." Okay? And I cleaned that up a little bit. Unfortunately, it's potty language, literally. But yeah, Tomi Lahren appeared on ABC's The View and announced that she was pro-choice. Her remarks received heavy criticism from conservatives, resulting in a suspension. But her response to her critics was a selfie and a quote from songwriter Kyle Andrews' I Spy lyrics. So that's a really professional way to respond to critics.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
You always want to look your best, but you don't always have time to deal with a necktie that won't cooperate. That's where we come in. Introducing the Never Tie, the only necktie that you never have to tie. Each Never Tie comes with a tie and 2 removable knots that you simply slide on and adjust for your comfort, giving you the perfect look every time. Choose from over 20 stylish designs at thenevertie.com. Enter promo code RADIO1 for discount.
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China...
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, student loan debt, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network, where America comes to talk.
Caiden Cowger.
It's all immaturity. That's all.
Somebody had to say it.
Complete immaturity. I'm done with it. Okay, so that's my take on it. I've wasted 2 segments talking about, another fake out there. Of course, you have people that are defending her. A few friends of mine actually were making some remarks that were positive to her, saying, hey, the left bans freedom of speech. We shouldn't be doing it. The left bans speech. We don't do that. Well, we're not banning her speech. We just don't want her on a supposed conservative libertarian platform like The Blaze. So the Blaze subscribers that are, where The Blaze is predominantly funded by libertarians and by conservatives, they've been writing to The Blaze saying, we want her off. Beck, take her off. Beck responded back that she's suspended. It's not their position to be calling for her to be removed. Well, yeah, it kind of is, because they're the ones that are funding it. Remember the network that you're building? Well, guess what? You are in debt to your audience. So, yeah, it is kind of their place, because it's their money that has gone into building the network. So, whatever. That's why I dropped my subscription from The Blaze a long, long time ago. As soon as Beck started going on the loony train, I got off. But, I'm glad that he is, at least investigating this, because while the guy is in favor of, same-sex marriage and all that, being the good little libertarian that he is, apparently he is pro-life, so that is good. So maybe he can, maybe he'll get rid of her. At this point, he needs to, because I'm sorry, but she's fake. She is fake, okay? And you can just tell it. She reads her scripts. She goes home, okay? And that's just my impression of the entire thing. Now, moving on here, I want to tell you about this conference, or not conference, it was a committee event that occurred yesterday. You had the House Intelligence Committee that was interviewing James Comey, overseeing a hearing of James Comey, who is the FBI director, along with Mike Rogers of the National Security Agency. And in this House Congressional Committee, it's the House Intelligence Committee, they were asking Comey and they were asking Rogers if there was any interference in the election pertaining to changing the ballots due to Russian hacking. Comey and Rogers both expressed no. Both of them said no. No, Russia did not change the ballots. No, Russia did not change the tallies. They were asked specifically, did Russia change the ballots in the following battleground states? And they began naming the states. Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Florida, North Carolina, or Ohio. Were any of the ballots changed in any of the battleground states? Comey and Rogers both said no. So what that means is that Russia did not change the ballots. Russia did not cause the election to be in favor of Trump by literally interfering in American democracy. All that the Democrats are doing is that they are whining, blaming the Russian government for WikiLeaks. Why? Because John Podesta's email was hacked. So what are they saying? They're saying that Russia is the one that hacked John Podesta's email. That's what they're going on. Now, I'm going to tell you, back in 2012, when that little media brouhaha about a viral segment that I put out that was taken out of context was really going viral, my email account was hacked. It was a Gmail account. I had a pretty secure password, too, but it was hacked. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they got into it, but this was apparently an experienced hacker that was able to access my Gmail account, shut down my YouTube channel, shut down my account, and I had to go into account recovery mode to get it taken care of. But he had the password and everything, and how I figured that out was that I had searched my name on Google, and somehow I got to this entire discussion page about me where this guy was posting personal information. Now, I had the page taken down, and luckily it was done away with, But that was a surprise to me that somebody was this experienced and this well trained that he could hack into my account, get my password. And I don't know how he did it, but he did it and shut down my YouTube account and shut down my Gmail account. But that's what happened. That's what occurred. And it appears that the same exact thing happened to John Podesta. Does that mean that it takes a state agency in order to hack, a Gmail account? Absolutely not. Otherwise, mine would have never been hacked. But it was. You know why? It's because it doesn't require overwhelmingly sophisticated hackers in order to do it. Moderate hackers can get into Gmail. Moderate hackers can take your email account and access it. Okay, it can occur. He should have been using a more secure type of email server than Gmail for his personal information. That is his fault. Okay, he did not take the proper precautions to keeping his information secure. So, you can blame Russia. You can, make this entire conspiratorial story about how Donald Trump colluded with the Russian government in accessing your email account, but there's no evidence to suggest that. And now we have discovered that not only is there no evidence to suggest that, but Russia did not change the vote tallies in the election. So, guys, it is so absolutely clear that this is just a bunch of Democrats that are throwing temper tantrums because their email accounts were hacked by this sophisticated hacker, moderately sophisticated hacker, and they're looking for somebody to blame, so they're blaming Russia. And you know where they got the whole Russia thing from? It was from Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump made a little joke, maybe Russia can find Hillary's deleted emails. Well, then all of a sudden you have John Podesta's email account that's hacked, and then they throw that out there. Well, then Donald Trump called for Russia to hack our emails, so it must be him. So they blamed Russia for it and said that Donald Trump was colluding with it. That's where this entire conspiratorial thing came from a remark that Trump made half-heartedly, jokingly at a campaign rally. And the Democrats heard that and they decided, hey, we can make something out of this. We can do something with this, and then they did it. That's what took place, okay? And now we are feeling the after effects of it because what Democrats are doing now is that they are so caught up in this absolutely absurd delusion that they are trying to make it out like Trump is illegitimately president. Trump won the electoral vote, and Russia did not interfere in the final tallies. So that means that Trump legitimately won the electoral vote. He won the electoral college, okay? Which means that he would have won. He won fair and square. Now here's the thing, and I want you guys to all think about this. If Hillary would have won the electoral college and would have lost the popular vote, do you honestly think that Democrats would be saying that she is illegitimately president? Absolutely not. If she would have won the electoral vote and lost the popular vote, Democrats would be saying that she is president nevertheless. You know why? It's because they did not say that Obama was illegitimately the nominee. They didn't say that Obama was illegitimately president. Obama lost the popular vote to Hillary Clinton. They did not count ballots in various states. Now, here's the thing. Obama wasn't on the ballot in some of these states that were not included back in 2008. But the people in those states did vote for Hillary. If I didn't want to vote for Hillary and I was going to vote for Obama, I would I'd write in his name on the ballot. I'd write it in. But they voted for Hillary. None of their votes were counted in Michigan and several other states. So Obama lost the popular vote in the Democratic primary of 2008 to Hillary Clinton if we counted all the votes. So then does that mean that Obama is illegitimately president because he lost the popular vote? They don't talk about that, do they? No, because it's a Democrat.
Caiden Cowger. Keeping America straight.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
You always want to look your best, but you don't always have time to deal with a necktie that won't cooperate. That's where we come in. Introducing the Never Tie, the only necktie that you never have to tie. Each Never Tie comes with a tie and 2 removable knots that you simply slide on and adjust for your comfort, giving you the perfect look every time. Choose from over 20 stylish designs at thenevertie.com. Enter promo code RADIO1 for discount.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, student loan debt, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network, where America comes to talk.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say it.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and give all you guys a heads up. And you can tell other people that you know this information, because this is what is going to happen. They are looking to impeach Donald Trump. Don't freak out. There's a very good chance it's not going to happen. Nothing's going to come of it. But that is what they are looking at potentially doing. They are looking at different ways to impeach Donald Trump. Maxine Waters was on MSLSD's AM Joy, should be called AM Snooze. And she was talking about how they are looking at different ways, the Democratic Party is looking at different ways that they can tie Trump to Russia so they can impeach him and get him out of office. Go ahead and listen to this.
I want to go to your tweet this week that got lots and lots of retweets about Trump's Kremlin clan. Lots of people, Kremlin clan. Tell us why you think that your constituents, are they concerned about this Trump-Russia connection still? And do you think that the relevant committees, which are run by Trump's party, by the Republican Party, are doing enough to get to the bottom of it?
Well, as you know, we have both the House and the Senate Intelligence Committees that are really getting started on taking a look at what happened with Russia and how did they get involved in hacking our DNC and our Democrats, et cetera, and wanting to know if there was collusion. I've always said that if they dig deep enough, if they do the kind of investigations that they should be doing, that they're going to find that there was collusion. So I'm not convinced that the House committee is going to do very well with this, but I have more faith in the Senate committee. I think that this has to be done. If you take a look at those who are surrounding this president, both inside his administration and his allies and friends outside of the administration, you'll see all of these connections to oil and to Russia. When you take a look at the fact that they all want to have the sanctions lifted so that they can drill oil in the Arctic. And of course, Tillerson is a part of this. He was the ex-CEO of Exxon, and he negotiated the deal with Putin to be able to drill in the Arctic. They all will benefit from it. Just take a look at what Flynn is doing. Follow Flynn. Follow Manafort. Follow these guys who have some connection, and it's been shown. Flynn has lied. He's been caught. He did not register as a foreign agent. He's taken money that he did not disclose, and I think it's all there, and we should dig deeper. Yes, I think that my constituents and others should care about this, but this is what I think is so important. I don't think when the truth comes out that even the right-wing conservatives who are defending Trump at this point are going to be able to stand with him. They claim to be patriots, and they claim that they're more patriotic than a lot of other people. We're going to see who the real patriots are when we unveil this collusion that I believe is there. And I think in the final analysis, they're going to have to move away from him, and we will see that he will be in a position where he will meet the standards and the criteria for high crimes and misdemeanors, and I maintain that's where impeachment comes in.
There you go. See, that's where I maintain that's where impeachment comes in. So they are genuinely trying to take Trump out. They're trying to look for ways to impeach Donald Trump. That was Maxine Waters, Democratic Congresswoman from California. So guys, I mean, yeah, they're trying to take him out, and they're trying to prove that he colluded with Russia. Now, what does she say? I believe he did. I believe he colluded. She wants to believe. There's no evidence to suggest that Russia changed the election results, so this is all just a bunch of ridiculousness. The Democrats are trying to make it out like Trump is illegitimately president, so they have something to run on, or they can make him look bad, so they can take him out of office, because they don't want to put up with Trump. He's too much of a fight for him. So they're trying to destroy him and take him out. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for listening to us. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, may God bless you, and God bless America.